Now, for us, what we need to know. We need to know a lot of things, and hopefully we are going to know this during this afternoon. First of all, what and when it could be cultural heritage. And by the way, all of this can be found at another website, which is myname.eu, which is a website on cultural heritage focusing on classical European musical instruments. Right? You can go there, you cannot log in, because I keep a lot of information private. And I will show you examples later on, and you understand why some of these things are private. Right? And you can get a login if you are a scholar in the domain of European musical instruments. Actually, Gulia Abascal has a login to that website, because he could convince me he is a scholar in this field, right? So he could come in, and you can go in if you want, right? So, because you published and you show you are not just somebody who wants to see funny things, but you are studying and you are an expert on this thing. Good. So, cultural heritage consists of physical artifacts, things that you can keep in your hand, and non-physical physical art, like a melody, like a choreography for a dance, like a story that people tell over and over and over, right? Like a way to dress. I can describe you how to dress the girl, but this is a description. It's not a physical thing. So it could be stories, pictures, instrument, document, even language that are inhabited from past generations and help because they are part of the culture. The culture of a group, the culture of a society, the culture of a family. Or sometimes a mixture. So, and these artifacts are very important. They are instrumental in keeping the culture alive. If we don't know anymore what the melody is, the music is gone. If we don't anymore the choreography of the dance, the steps, the dance is gone. If we don't know more how to put the clothes on the people, then it's just funny costumes. We don't know how people were using them anymore. So these artifacts are essential for the culture. They keep the culture alive, right? And maintaining the artifacts means that you could be an owner for some time. At the moment, Ellie and I are the owner of this cupboard full of old flutes and clarinets and oboe, right? We keep them, and we know that we will hand them over to another keeper who will keep them again and keep them in playing order and be careful about it. So, and the individual members of the culture could be people, could be libraries, could be museums, and they should transfer relevant knowledge, right? So, individual members of the culture and the transfer of the knowledge related to the artifact. That's what keeps the culture alive. And I think most of you, I've seen about 10 of you send me examples that you actually know this, but well, it's part of my story. So living cultures, by definition, regulate the maintenance of the artifacts, regulates how we maintain. Whether we keep the dress as it is or whether we make it longer to fit ladies of the modern stature, the modern size, right? You could make a decision. If nobody can anymore use the clothes, then the clothes will be in a cupboard. If you make them larger, you change, but you keep people allowed to use it. So, but if we lose the knowledge, then where's the culture, right? So I'm very much stressing that keep the original meaning. Keep the knowledge of the story, of the dance choreography, of the instruments, of the costume. Otherwise you will say, well, apparently 300 years ago people would wear these kind of shoes. Why? And how would they use them? And how would they maintain them? We don't know. And then the culture is kind of lost. So, preserving cultural heritage. In a living culture, activities like design, creation, use and repair and maintenance, as well as keeping the knowledge, consolidating and sharing the knowledge, and is important. And members have specific roles, like maybe the priest, or the storyteller, or the person who keeps the documents, who stores them in a library. And also the audience, who knows what is expected of a performance, right? All of them play a part in the culture. If you have a special dance and the audience doesn't understand what you are doing, then we have a problem already. The audience should be able to applaud and shout and be excited because they know what's going on. And if a culture is in danger, then special roles need to be developed to keep the culture. Like restoration, like librarian, like curator, like organizers and performance, in order to make the culture go on. Right? And if these people stop, what's left is a box full of textiles and some jewelry, and we don't know anymore what it's about. So, if a culture is at risk, then we need to learn these roles, and learning means that you transfer knowledge and skill and experience as well as the artifacts and documentation. So, and if documents get separated, then we lose the knowledge. So, keeping the knowledge with the artifacts is really important. Documenting and relating to each other. So, and preserving means that we, individual people, museums, institutes, communities, need to be aware they only temporarily are keepings of the cultural heritage artifacts. And so the main goal of our course is to help to support preservation of the culture by collecting and maintaining the objects and studying the documentation, and be sure that we work together with people and institutes that have the same goals of keeping the culture aware, keeping the members of the culture aware of the meaning of the artifacts.